Hello, this is Paul, and I am here to introduce you to Lesson 5 with Windows 7. And Windows 7 is what we are currently teaching in our classes here at the First Church of the Brethren. And we are offering free computers with Windows 7 on it. So today we're going to look at My Computer, what was formerly called My Computer with Windows XP. Is now just simplified with one word, and that is computer. When we do this, we go to the Start menu, which is on the lower left corner. You click it one time, it brings up a menu, and you'll be able to click with the left button of your mouse, unless you turned it around for a left-handed person, the primary key on the word computer. Now, when we do this, we are presented with all the different drives that might be on your computer, and every computer might be different. If you have an external drive, it'll also be listed there. If you have a flash drive or a memory stick or whatever you want to call it, it'll also be there, or even to have a CD on the drive, it'll also be there. So there's a large variety of what we can see on Windows 7. Now, one thing that is new is from the View drop-down menu on the upper right corner of this window, you'll see extra selections to choose from than what we had before. Extra large icons will exactly do that, and they are very sizable when you do that. And also large icons and medium icons. They used to be all one, but now they are a selection for sizes, whatever you prefer. And also there is also the list and details and tiles, just like it was before. So we also have 4 different sizes to choose from when it comes to the icons. And also take notice that we now have a slide bar to show which one you are on. You do not make your selections with the slide bar, but you use the mouse to select the one that you are desiring by going on top of the exact view that you want. So now we have, this is a list view here, and in this list view we now have several different columns there that it is now set into different categories. This is a little bit different than what it was before, and like I said, this is going to be different on every computer. So now we have, new to Windows, is that the list view now displays the directories in a different column for each category. So we are able to sort things out and find things much more easier than it was before. Also new to Windows 7 and 8, we have a search bar there. It is no longer a separate operation, and it works on every directory you go into. So when you only need to look for a file and you don't remember where it is exactly, you can put in a partial name or the complete name when highlighting the particular drive or directory that you think that it's stored in. And we're going to be covering more on that. An outline view is always displayed and will be seen in every directory. In other words, we will always see this outline over there. And take notice, we also have different arrowheads on there. And when you have an arrowhead, it means that there are listings underneath that. The contents will be displayed as you click on any one of these items, and take notice that the arrowhead will change direction when you have it open, while it is straight across when it is closed. If there is no directories underneath it, there will be no arrowheads displayed. Take notice the double click on any one of these. That's when the display will take place in the main screen that is on the left side of this column, and it'll show everything that is in there. Now when we go to copying files, it still remains pretty much the same as what it was with Windows XP. Please take notice that you can have more than one window open, and when you right click on the bottom of the screen for your directory, you can open it more than once by right clicking on it. So then we have two directories open at this time. Take notice that in one directory that we want to copy files from, we can select with a single click of the left mouse button and be able to make a single selection only with one click. Remember that. So then when we do this, we are also able to use the shift key and then be able to go up or down of the list and include all of the files in between. However, if you use the control key, you can also randomly select different files that they don't have to be in succession. So you have that flexibility just as it always has been. You never lost anything with Windows 7 or 8. You just have added capabilities. After making your selections, hold down the primary button of the mouse on top of any one of the selections that you made and drag it to the new location. Now when you do this, you go over and just let it release the button, and the files will copy or paste over. When you move a file over on drive C or file on any other drive and keeping to that same drive, it is the same as just a cut and paste. And that means there will only be one copy of the file on that single drive. However, when you go to another drive, for example, you go to a flash drive or anything, then you will be able to have two copies on each location. So then that becomes a copy and paste. Remember that if you keep it on one drive, it will be a cut and paste, and when you go to a separate directory, a separate drive, such as even a CD or a hard drive that is external of your computer, it will also make a copy be established at both places. Now, with that in mind, there is more than one way to move or copy files around on the computer, as you can realize. Just like in XP, it's all the same. Go to the opposite directory and right click on an empty area, and you can use a keyboard shortcut, paste a file with a paste a shortcut, and you can use the same file from several different directories. Now, I do that with some of my Bible study that I have references from one book of the Bible to the other. So to have reference going back and forth, I will make use of the shortcuts so that I will be able to share that information from more than one directory. However, I'm still working with only one copy on my computer. It's not going to be two different copies. Now, also, the keyboard shortcut, when you make your selections, just like I said before, you can have multiple selections or any one file at a time. The control key held down and press the letter C will enable it to be copied. And when you go to the opposite directory, then you'll hold down the control key on your keyboard and press the letter V to paste it. And the same rules apply. If you go from one directory to another, you'll be having two different copies when you do this. And when you go to another drive, you also have two different locations established with two different files. Copy will always give you more than one copy on your computer. When you hold down the control key and press the X key, then you will be able to cut a file from one location and send it to another. Also, there will only be one copy no matter what drive you go to. If it's the same drive, if it's from one directory on drive C to another directory on drive C, it'll be the same action as you go to another drive as well. Now, when you want to delete a key, just as it was before, and it's only on drive C, your primary drive, that file will go to the recycle bin. When it goes into the recycle bin, you have opportunity to be able to go to the recycle bin and be able to retrieve it and put it back into operating order. Now, when you choose a file, getting away from this and realizing how many different ways you can work with any one file on there, when we right click on any of these files, you'll get a menu. This menu will have a top selection, and it's darkened on this display where it will say play. When you double click on the icon, that is exactly what it's going to do. It will automatically play. However, there are other selections to choose from in here. For example, we can go to the Open With menu, and when a particular file is compatible with more than one program that is installed on your computer, you'll be able to open it with the program of your choice. In the case of a music file like we're looking at here, you can open it with Real Player or Microsoft Player or iTunes or whatever is installed on your computer. That list will vary. And then when we go down to the Send To menu, you'll take notice that both of these have arrowhead on the right side of this menu. And when you hold the mouse over top of it, you'll get another sub-menu come up, and it will enable you to go to send it as an email attachment if your email is set up with a POP server. That is very important. Now, when we go to Windows 8, a POP server will not work with Windows 8. It will be necessary to download a program off of the web that will work with POP servers. And there is a list of them. Many of them are free, while others might be for a price. Also, if you have faxing capabilities, you can fax certain documents over as a fax, and that is with the capabilities of sending text. It will not send music over there as a fax, but it will send a document. So we are also able to send this to another directory as you have it installed on your computer. In my case here, I'm showing that I have my hard drive as identified as K, and I have a shared data hard drive, which is Y, and a public hard drive, which is identified as Z. I can send my document to any one of these drives as I wish. So this is a start of how we can have some very nice smooth operations with Windows 7. It is not that much different than what it was with Windows XP, but as you can see, the search menu is much more accessible, which means that you'll use it more often, and be able to get more action out of your computer. And this is Paul. I invite you to continue with the lessons that we have here as we continue working with Windows 7.